assignment, read the book of Acts in the next month. Read the book of Acts.
Not even a full month, but yeah.
Well, whatever. And she wants you to answer the question, what is the genre of the book? You may have to look up that word, genre, G-E-N-R-E. What's the genre of the book?
If you go to Ehrman, it'll tell you.
Yeah, he'll tell you. And you can disagree with him or agree with him. But she wants you to say why you think it is that. And don't just copy Ehrman or she'll notice that all the answers are the same. So what is the genre of the book? Do you agree with it, Ehrman, or not? And why after you read it? And then she'd like no more than a page about that, but more than a paragraph. Does that make sense? And it doesn't say typewritten, but I'm guessing that's what she's saying. Or if you don't have a word processor or typewriter, handwritten is probably okay if your legible handwriting is used. So, I am excited about this program. We've really tinkered with it several times trying to fit the interest and the direction that folks want to go. And so you're our first cohort group. And I think I said I would pay for your books that you ordered, that missional book. I only have $10, so I may have to find out how much you paid for it, and then I'll bring checks next time. So,
Well, some of them haven't ordered it yet. They don't know what it is.
okay, so maybe we'll talk about that.
Okay. You want to pay for them? That's fine.
I will pay for them, but they'll need to order them, so they'll come mailed to you.
Okay,
And
that
then
was
just let
that.
me
Yeah.
know.
There is the book. I've got the book that I want them to order. The one that some of them have already read. Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Could somebody just tear off a piece of paper and have it go around for those that have already paid for the book? I'll be happy to reimburse you. And if you haven't, then just email me and I'll make sure I bring a check.
Missional Church, is that?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll make sure.
Roxburgh,
Pardon
the
me?
Roxburgh,
Is that Roxburgh? Is that the author?
Yes.
Yes.
Roxborough.
It's
Yeah.
probably in your desk, yeah. It's one we got for rural.
NTNL.
Okay. Here's the book.
Synod or missionary.
Here's the book that you need. So if you have it, you have it. If you don't, look at it. If you've already bought it, sign your name to it, that form, and then I'll give them to Russell, to Pastor Russell, to reimburse you.
Oh,
Okay, so sign your name to that document, then I'll collect them and give them to Pastor
You want the
Russell.
money?
Give it to him first and he'll hand it to me.
Then you'll have to do it.
Now, eventually, I asked Pastor Moan about the Acts book, and she did not say there'd be a text, but I can't guarantee she won't come up with something. But we're trying to keep costs at a minimum, especially for this first group, y'all lucky ones. We have a little bit of a subsidy from the some of the funds that have been donated. And so, do you have any questions of me before I turn you over to that smiling face at the other end of the table?
it may be more of a question for Pastor Kurt, but it may affect you. Introducing the missional church, are we going to be using it, referring to it,
Yes.
highlighting it? So,
Yes.
so my Kindle version is not very
Yes,
practical.
well, your Kindle version you can highlight.
I know, but it's
It's difficult.
not.
I think I have mine, I can't find my copy, and I think it's on my Kindle, and I think my wife took my Kindle to Chicago. So that's why I can't find it. But it's up to you. I mean, you
Well, I got a
can-
free hard copy version coming, so. I
Okay,
figured-
all right.
Yeah, me
Go
too.
for it, yeah, go for it. I mean, if you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and
I
order
won't let you, I won't make you pay for the one on my Kindle.
There you go.
Okay, well then
My
don't,
wife paid for
and
that.
then don't,
I don't have any.
And you may want to,
bring the other.
okay.
There it is. We've got it on the note.
and if you need change, you said?
It's 160. I'll have to bring the other 150.
What, for who? It's
just-
150.
It's only 150.
No, you got 160.
I got 120, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200.
Okay.
Child.
Give her some money.
Oh,
Here you go. Here's your other.
There's your change.
Well, no, that's what I need.
yes,
Okay.
I paid for my books. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so this is, so you're going to give us a book.
You're going to order the book.
Oh,
And
no.
would you want
I want a free copy and I'll pay for that one.
Okay, well, if you wouldn't mind ordering the free copy and then tell me how much it is. Because some people want new and some people want used.
Wait a minute, now
If
I'm
if you
confused.
want him to order you a copy, sign
write
that
that.
document and
There you
hand it in to me.
There you go.
Sign.
Okay, Retha, you paid for yours already,
He's
right?
in charge of this.
I've already paid.
Clearly.
Did you sign the document that's paid?
Yes, I've already
You
signed the
can, yeah.
document.
And you gave it to him?
It's
Yes.
small.
Don't
enough.
you have
Coming
my-
around.
Oh, okay.
We're
So,
gonna be talking about it.
You're good on the book? Is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes, I've already paid for, you paid for it, now I got the book.
When did I pay for it?
You just gave me $10.
Well, that was your change. Right? Oh, I see. I gave you $10, you gave it to him, and you're paid up.
Yeah.
How can anything get so confusing right off the
That's
bat?
what I get for paying for your books, I tell you. Anyway, please let me know. We really are excited about this. We want to encourage you to jump in this with both feet and be thinking about your congregation all this time about how this concerns you locally as well as the church at large. So don't hesitate to contact me. You know my contact information. It's on the website. We will be having a second page on there that will list you and your contact information so you can get hold of your class colleagues during the interim time. Okay?
What time does class start?
It'll start at 9 o'clock with worship starting next time.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll go over all of that. So Retha is paid. Okay, Janet, you want reimbursement for 9. John, Miles, you want to order.
Yes, please.
Brian, you wanted to order.
Yes, please.
Nancy, you want to order.
Yeah.
Okay, Monkman's.
No, we have it.
Pastor Kurt, should I have the books shipped to them directly, or can I just show up with it next time? What's your preference?
Oh, no, you guys need to order them yourselves.
I'll order them and have them mailed to them.
Each one?
Yeah, I can do that. It's not hard on Amazon.
Whatever. Here.
God bless you all.
And also with you.
That's what the magnet on my refrigerator says, and also with you. All right, hold on to this. You hold on to that. Brian, did you give me your rest of your application?
No, I didn't.
It didn't come.
Because the pastor, it should have come.
The
by
letter
scan.
did. The letter did.
The letter did.
But the application never came.
I scanned that along with the letter.
All I ever got was the letter.
I'm gonna let him.
Right,
Okay.
okay. Because I have pastor's letter, which was sent to Dean.
Yeah, I got that too.
Even though
Okay.
Pastor Zimmer never
Do you have that?
forwarded it.
Mm.
So you got the letter from our vice president. Because
And that was it. And that's why you're sitting here on my form without a home address. I don't know how that happened, but whatever.
Okay, resend it because it's scanned into my computer.
Good, because we need your home address, so I can have that
Yeah,
book
it
mailed to
hasn't
you.
changed since the last time I was here. I understand.
That would be a file we don't have handy.
People change email and their middle name and who knows, so.
I remembered today that my email address is old enough to vote and drink.
Somehow I need to know that.
Any
Let
questions?
me write myself a note. I will
If y'all need
resend
coffee or
that.
anything, it'll be next door. We'll see about getting you some coffee. Does anybody drink, or is that coffee there?
No, it's empty.
Does anybody want coffee?
That's
Okay.
okay.
Depends on
Well, if I'm the
Pastor-
only one, then.
Then just come get
Depends
it.
on Pastor Kurt. Will
And
you?
there'll be some iced tea left over too if you need a break.
Nothing.
You may.
Just being my normal smart aleck self.
Okay, welcome to the Cub. All right. Let's begin with a word of prayer and try to get out of this sense of fog. The Lord be with you.
And
Also with you.
Let us pray. Merciful and loving God, we thank you for the opportunity to talk about your church in our community, your church in the world, your church in our lives. Help us to understand what you have sent us into the world to seek, what you have sent us into the world to do, what you have sent us into the world to be, what you have sent us into the world to proclaim. Give us the strength to do all of this and be all of this and proclaim all of this, even as we work with our congregations and even as we work with ourselves in learning to know you and your love and the love for all the world. We ask it in the name of Christ our Lord.
Amen.
All right. Harry, welcome. You haven't missed much other than the Dean's insanity, and that's okay. We are filming this, that's why the camera's on, because Jean Oswald broke her ankle and is not getting to have surgery for it until Tuesday, so she's not with us. We're going to give that to her instead. Question. You have the missional book, I know you do.
Yes,
Okay, and you paid for it yourself?
yes.
Okay, so let's put this down, because you're gonna get reimbursed. Do you remember how much you paid for it?
No,
Was it 9 or was it 12?
I got it through Barnes and Noble.
$600.
Way to go, Harry. I'll put $12.50.
That sounds fine.
Okay. I'm so glad none of you have really changed in the least. We welcome a non-PLMer. Yeah, Kathy Monkman. She married a Monkman.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
I
And,
know that one.
and we're glad you're here. You are a Presbyterian pastor.
No.
I'm not a pastor, I'm a certified Christian educator,
Okay, all right, okay.
but we're also certified through Wartburg Lutheran Seminary in Iowa as a town and country
Right.
ministry.
And you both are not PLM graduates, but that's what your certification came through. So just understand that, you know, at one point in time, it seemed like we were just doing things for PLM, but when the Monkmans came along and said, do you think we could do this with you? We said, why, of course. So we're glad that you're here, and we're glad that you're a part of this.
You'll have to teach them the secret handshake.
Yeah, and the dance, so.
Yeah.
Older, you're just beyond yourself, aren't you? All right. Well, we have been a long time in coming to this point and this moment, and it is without a doubt an exciting time and moment to finally have parish leadership for Mission Academy off the ground and running and the rest. As the dean pointed out, the schedule that you've been given prior to this and what we were going to do and how we were going to do it has been in flux for 2 years, remains in flux today, and is eventually, we hope, going to be something that you're going to shape. We fully admitted at the beginning when we started talking about PLM2 that the first time through was an experiment. And unfortunately, I went through a doctorate program that was a first time through experiment. And there were times when we had no idea whether the experiment was going up or coming down or blowing up in front of our face. And one morning it blew up in front of our face. And so I don't like thinking about experiments, but on the other hand, the one beauty of it is that it isn't working. It's not cast in stone. So if it's not working and you don't feel like it's working, then you have the opportunity to say, this isn't working. Could we go at it from this direction, or could we look at it from this way, or whatever. So this is one of those places where, you know, PLM is pretty well cast in stone. This is what you got to do, you got to do, you got to do. This is not. And I hope it never is. I hope that it always is in some steady status of flux, because this is designed to help you in your congregation, in your particular setting, in your particular ministry mission, and whatever else. And without a doubt, when we go around the room and talk about who you are, and then go around the second time and talk about your congregation, none of us are in the same place. And so we can't invent a specific way of being missional, nor can we invent a specific way of doing mission, because it's got to be contextual. It's always had to be contextual, and that's the beauty of this program. It's contextual. It's contextual to a place where you are, where your congregation is today, and perhaps where your congregation may want to go, hopes to go, even if it doesn't know that's what it's supposed to do. And so, you know, from my perspective, this is a Lego kit, and you will build whatever comes out of the Lego kit, and it will be specific to your needs, your congregation, your particular situation, okay? And if it gets too directed, then, you know, you need to tell me that. All right. Leadership for mission is really the concept that mission doesn't happen on its own. Mission is not something that is necessarily natural, even though it ought to be. And many times, when mission happens, we don't even recognize it because we don't know what it is. So it takes leadership to bring mission and missional outreach into fruition. And that's what you're here to be. Besides building your own little Lego land creature or building, you are also here to be a catalyst. You are a catalyst to your congregation. And that can be seen in good, positive, and sometimes not so positive manners. And that's why you had to get your pastor's permission and you had to get your church council's permission, because we didn't want you to step into a situation where the pastor doesn't know what you're doing, and or the congregational leadership doesn't know that you're here and doing this, because you're going to go back into your congregation and you're going to become leaven in flour and water, and maybe a couple of eggs as well. But you're going to go back in there and we hope be somewhat of a change agent. And one does not take that role lightly, or one must always understand that's a role that must be done carefully, and it must be done with good communication, and that's why your congregational leadership was a part of the process for coming here, so that they knew that you were going to go back, and in the 18 months or so, and if after the 18 months we come to a conclusion that every so often we still want to get back together again and talk about where we're going and what we're doing, 18 months is just an arbitrary, kind of number and a goal. So again, that's all part of where we're at. Question? Yeah.
Contextual in the sense of our congregations.
Right.
What is the context to the synod? Because this is a synod focus, is mission, right?
Right.
How does it all fit together?
Well, one will hope that when you are through this course, we will finally be able to say that we actually created missional leaders rather than just talked about it. Okay? I love Bishop Knaus with every ounce in my body. But Bishop Knaus and I, and this is on tape, so I'll be in real trouble. Bishop Knaus and I do not see eye to eye on the need to build a center before you have a program. And that comes out of my doctorate. My doctorate said, the old, if you build it, they will come, doesn't work. My congregation is a perfect example of, we will build it and they didn't come. Okay, so the whole point of our disagreement is you need a program to put into that building. Then build the building around the program so it does and it's useful to the program. Don't build a building before you know how it's going to get used. And at this point in time, we're building a building, and we hope one day that this program is going to be in that building and that we're going to be doing this there. But it's going to be a building we didn't build. So what we're going to do is we're going to build leadership.
I'm a part of the building.
What?
Actually, I am a part of the building.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, but the truth of the matter is the missional part isn't there. There's no missional.
Yeah, we made our best guess at how
Right.
the training area would be used.
Yeah, exactly. And it probably will work fine. It's not that. It's just we need to be doing mission before we need the building. I'm sorry, we've been talking, the bishop is in his second term, and he's been talking missional leadership for 12 years now. Almost as long as I've been here, he's been talking missional leadership. And I've cheered. I went to get a doctorate because I wanted to learn how to do missional leadership. And, but we've never created missional leaders. We've talked about it. We've done seminars. We've done whatever, but we've never been intentional about taking individuals out of their congregations and letting them go back in and act missionally in the congregation, and then come back and talk about what that means and what that is. And hopefully get congregations excited and get people to see that mission isn't something we talk about, mission is something we do, okay?
Thank you.
So that's where we're at. Bishop has blessed this all over the place, you know, even though he forgot that he gave us money to do this.
Well, one of my hopes in this class, if I can just say this, is, you know, and Miles and I both belong to the same church in Carrollton, is that not only will we learn how to become missional in our own context, but also that we are armed against the slings and arrows that are sure to come.
Okay.
I mean, at least in I see slings and arrows from our congregation, you know, in different ways, just as I have been reading the book and thinking about it and thinking of what we do with we just got a new building. So it's kind of like, okay, I hope I have some armor. You know?
Well, and
You know.
that is a good point and a good understanding. The last thing that needs to happen is that you, as this catalyst, become not a catalyst but a cancer, and somebody tries to exercise you and get you out. Okay? And if that starts happening in your context, you need to say that, and we need to back off. Okay? You know, there's only so much stretch in dough before it doesn't raise again. Okay? You know, and if we've stretched it too far and we've pushed it too far, it's going to fall flat on its face no matter what we do, and you are going to get blamed for it. Okay? And this was the way it was in my doctorate as well. You know, we all walked into the program with trepidation because we knew we were going to go back to our congregations and we were going to have to be able to work with them and the leadership and put them through some stressful times and things like that. And it could backlash, and it did for 2 or 3 pastors, you know, who ended up, you know, leaving their current parish and going another place. So I don't want to scare you, but I also want you to be sensitive to the fact that not every congregation is going to react the same way, or not every person is going to react in a positive manner. Okay? And if you read the book and you see why we need to be a missional church, and you then take that back into the context of your own congregation, and you go, well, we're not there. Yeah, you know, you're now quietly going, okay, wow, that's like building a bridge over the Grand Canyon. Which end do you start at, and where do you meet in the middle? Or how do you hold it up while we're trying to build the bridge? So all of that is very important to the process. It helps if you're in a leadership role. It helps if you're in a role that you're trusted. And it also helps to understand that the best idea you have is the one that somebody else introduces. You know, all you do is lay the groundwork for it, and somebody else says, oh, why don't we do this? And you go, yes! I've been waiting how long for you to come up with that? You know, that's the best way. When it doesn't become your idea, it becomes somebody else's. And, you know, and they move in that direction. That is, you know, that is part of the key to anything in a congregation. All right. Any other questions right now? All right. This is a cohort. That's what we refer to, a group of people coming together. We have not built the online part of the cohort at this point in time. I don't know if we will. We may create a blog or something else where we can react to. But for the moment, that component is not here. But a cohort is a group of people with a common goal trying to work towards some kind of common goal by supporting each other in the endeavors that they're going about. So that this is the place where if something works, you share it. If this is the place where something doesn't work, you share it. If this is the place where there are questions and concerns and issues, you share it. Because it's likely that somebody else is in the same boat or has been through the same situation. Or at least together we can think about it versus you having to struggle with it alone. So the cohort process is a process where we help each other and where, yeah, I'm part of the catalyst to the cohort, but I'm not teaching. I'm not teaching here. I am part of the listening, hearing, sharing, involved with you because, again, I can't teach you to be missional. You'll figure it out on your own, and you'll figure it out in your own place, in your own situation. What I'm here to do is help direct you to get to figure it out. Okay? So it's a directive, not a teaching course in any way, shape, or form. So, Mr. Monkman, we're going to go around the table twice. First time around, talk about you in 500 words or less. Yeah, that'll be interesting. And just tell us about you and where you're at in your life at this point. You can tell us a little bit about your current congregation and situation, but that's the second time around, talking about what is your congregation like, okay? So save what your congregation is like for the second time around the table, okay? All right? So talk about you.
I'm not going to limit it to this, but I'm Jim. I'm first and foremost a child of God. I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a stepfather, a brother, and a friend. And a twice-loved husband.
Okay.
I exist to minister to men, to love my family, to share the good news of Jesus Christ. I do this through my work in Lutheran Men in Mission. I do this by being present with my family and teaching them all I know and showing them how I love them. I do this by making friends. And when they know I care, tell them the story that is so wondrous about Jesus. That developed through doing 11 retreats, and they're called 1 Year to Live. How would you live your life if you had but 1 year to live? I've also staffed 2 3-day weekends, and Harry was one of my 3 sponsors for my Via Crystal weekend. Kathy and I just finished Town and Country Ministry at Wartburg Seminary, mostly online, a little bit of intensive in residence. Most of our classmates were teen candidates. It's 12 courses. I did attend the Lay Academy, but not finish, which is why Kurt knows who I am. We closed on a new house in Las Colinas this week, so we are a bit harried, to say the least. We live half a year in Colorado. Our mountain home is in the canyon where my church membership is, Spirit of the Mountain Lutheran Church. The 16 of us, plus the pastor and his wife, is a typical Sunday. And in the winter, we're here. Too hot here, we're there. Too cold there, we're here.
When you're here, where do you worship?
Preston Hollow Presbyterian.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason we do that is because I am a lifelong Presbyterian and certified as a Christian educator through PCUSA. Most of my seminary work for that was done through Austin Theological Seminary. And when he asked me to marry him, one of my first questions was, do I have to be Lutheran? And his answer was, do I have to be Presbyterian? So since we are lucky to be able to live half a year in one place and half a year in the other, I guess we're Lutherans.
Lutherans, yes. Presbyterians.
Right. Jim and I have been married almost 7 years. He told you most of the story, so I'm not sure what
Tell-
else.
tell us
to
about
add.
Are you,
Tell them
are
about
you
the kids.
currently using the degree?
Well, as a volunteer in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm not currently on staff.
Okay.
He talked me into retirement
Okay.
a few years ago, and so we enjoy traveling. But we do so many things. We facilitate, for example, faith and grief luncheons at Preston Hollow once a month when we're here. Any person comes for lunch. It's a bereavement healing ministry. We're both trained as Stephen ministers as well. I think we'll go to school until we die because we just both love lifelong learning. More about the congregation later. We have a blended family. I have 4 children, all grown. The youngest of my 4 has the first grandchild on my side. She's 11 months old this month, and Jim's daughter has a daughter who, our granddaughter is 8 this month. So we love doing all sorts of different ministry opportunities together. We just don't get paid for it.
Hey, you know, some of us don't get paid for it either. Most of us. All right, thank you. This was Kathy for Jean on the film. All right. Go ahead, Rita.
My name is Rita. I am a graduate of PLM.
Yep.
I worked, I have 6 children. I was married for 18 years, got a divorce. I did go to school and I have a BSN in nursing. I worked 30 years as a nurse. I went to community public, I've been there about 30-some years. I have numerous, I have 6 children, 19 grandchildren, and God help me, 32 great-grands. My grandsons have been busy. I only have 2 granddaughters that got children, so that's 4 out of 32. So. But